Welcome to a warm Thursday evening here at the Cascavel circuit for the third event of the season. We are hitting the midpoint of the championship with race 7 of 15 about to get underway.
This track is a high-speed roller coaster, and I can tell you from my time behind the wheel that the blind crests will test every bit of their resolve tonight.
Martin Mole holds a commanding lead in the pro class with 183 points, but the battles behind are heating up.
The AM class leader Maximilian Turbin has a significant deficit to close down, and this 20-minute sprint is the perfect place to start.
The engines are revving, and the lights are about to go green for 3 races of intense action. Martin Mole sits on pole position once again, looking to extend that massive points lead from the front of the grid.
He has a sea of Pro-Am talent right behind him, with Hallam and Lindo locked into the second and third spots. I have started from the second row here before, and that first corner is incredibly narrow when you are side by side.
Further back, John Buntakis is the highest starting AM driver in 6th, while Jody Fannin has a mountain to climb from 15th.
Fannin has 35 kilos of ballast to deal with, which makes carving through this tight field even more difficult.
The Pro-Am battle is at the sharp end today, with Dorado and Constable Barry rounding out a very competitive top 5. The lights go green, and we are racing at Cascavel as Mole leads the charge into turn 1.
It is a clean launch from the front row, and that scramble for track position is already beginning.
James Garvok is on an absolute tear in these opening seconds, moving past Nicol and Tyus to climb the order.
He just made another clean move on Rich Snape to take 10th, and from my experience, that kind of momentum is hard to stop.
Josh Dye is making progress through the AM field as he finds a way past Phil Bodkin for 8th position.
That is a solid move this early in the race, and I always found that gaining momentum in the opening laps is key to a good result.
Joel Lemrick is making a charge now as he finds a gap to take 10th place away from James Garvok.
He used the slipstream perfectly there, and that is exactly how you want to handle these early battles in the AM class.
Jimmy Lindo makes his move on the inside to snatch second away from Jareth Hallam.
Hallam dives back down the inside to reclaim the position, and I can tell you his adrenaline will be spiking right now.
But Lindo strikes right back immediately as they swap places for the third time in a minute. Rich Snape has managed to find a gap, and he moves past Darren Nicol for 13th.
In my racing days, I always found that being aggressive on this part of the track is the only way to make a pass stick.
Sam Zero punts James Garvok, and the stewards have already confirmed a penalty for that move.
Zero has now hit the barriers after losing several spots, and I can tell you that once the rhythm is broken, it is hard to recover.
Thomas Kruger Dorado makes his move and slides past Darren Nicol for 12th place.
When I was racing through the pack like that, every overtake felt like a small victory for the championship points.
Adam Tyus loses a spot to Darren Nicol and slides right into the barriers.
I have had plenty of hits like that, and the vibration through the wheel is always a worry.
Sam Zero takes the position easily, while Tyus struggles to get back up to speed.
Nursing an AM-class car with that kind of damage is a massive challenge on this layout.
The battle for those minor points is heating up as Tyus begins to close back in.
Tyus finally gets back past Zero, but James Garvok capitalizes and shuffles him down to 15th.
Adam Tyus is clawing back through the AM field and manages to overtake Sam Zero for 13th.
I know from experience that once you get your rhythm back after a mistake, you have to be clinical with every pass.
Phil Bodkin finds his way past Joel Lemrich to take over 8th position.
In my racing career, I always felt that these mid-race passes were the hardest to make stick when the tires start to fade.
Jody Fannin has made his way up to 6th as he passes John Buntakis.
Fannin is carrying 35 kilograms of ballast and making that look easy, which shows his championship class.
Josh Dawes off and hits the barrier hard before sliding back into the wall a second time.
In my experience, that double impact is devastating for the suspension and will make the car feel very loose.
Jimmy Lindo and Dominic Fovarg have tangled, and they are both spinning across the track.
I have been in that exact spot, and the split second before the impact is always the worst feeling.
Martin Mole crosses the line to take yet another victory after a dominant drive from pole position.
Controlling a race from the front is never as easy as it looks, but he made it look effortless tonight.
He further cements his place at the top of the pro standings as we conclude the first race of the evening. Jareth Hallam takes the checkered flag in 2nd place, securing a vital result for AP's finest.
Defending that position with 30 kilograms of ballast is no easy feat, and he never looked like losing it.
That is maximum points for him in the Pro-Am category as he finishes exactly where he started on the grid. Dominic Fovarg takes the third and final step of the podium after a stellar climb from 7th.
In my racing experience, that kind of recovery through the field takes immense patience and some bold moves.
He will be delighted with those championship points as he closes the gap to the front of the Pro-Am class. Dominic Fovarg finds a way past Jimmy Lindo to move into the final podium spot.
In my racing career, I always felt that losing a place this late in the race is incredibly tough to take.
Martin Mall once again shows why he is the championship leader with a perfect lights to flag victory.
From my experience, starting on pole is one thing, but maintaining that gap for 20 minutes is purely clinical.
The Pro-Am battle was fierce, with Dominic Fovarg climbing from 7th to snatch a podium from Jimmy Lindo late on.
We saw plenty of drama in the AM class too, with those collisions for Sam Zero and Josh Daw shaking up the order.
With 8 races still to go, the title fight is far from over as we head into the next round tonight. The championship table has been shaken up, with Jareth Hallam and Dominic Fovarg making huge gains into the top 11.
That podium finish for Fovarg moves him up 3 spots overall, and I know how much that boost in confidence helps for the next round.
David Constable Barry has also climbed into the top 5, while Martin Mall remains the man to beat at the summit.
I have been in a similar position before, and the target on your back only gets larger as the points gap grows.
Josh Daw and Darren Nickel find themselves on the front row today thanks to this reverse grid format.
I have been in their shoes before, and the pressure of looking in your mirrors for the championship leader is intense.
Our points leader, Martin Mall, is buried back in 15th place with Jareth Hallam and Dominic Fovarg right next to him.
With 20 minutes of racing ahead, those 3 will have to be extremely aggressive to work through the traffic.
Adam Tyus and Rich Snape sit in the top 6 and have a real opportunity to bank big points for the AM class.
It is a massive test for the frontrunners to hold off the pro drivers on such a narrow and fast circuit.
The lights flash green and Josh Daw leads the field down the long straight for race 2 at Cascavel.
That is a great launch from the front row, and I have been in that position where you just want to clear turn 1 before the fast guys arrive.
Jimmy Lindo is making light work of the midfield as he passes both Constable Barry and Joel Lemrich.
He is showing exactly how to carve through a reverse grid, and my own experience tells me he is eyeing the podium.
Jareth Hallam is keeping his nose clean in the heavy traffic as he tries to follow the lead of the cars ahead.
I have found that being patient in these first few laps is key to surviving a reverse grid charge from the back.
Rich Snape is currently holding his ground in 6th place, looking to maximize those AM class points.
In my racing days, I always felt that these first few laps were the most critical for an AM driver to establish a gap.
Jimmy Lindo pulls a great move on Sam Zero to grab 4th place as they head into the technical section.
Zero lunges back to reclaim the spot, and I know from my time in the cockpit that fighting like this is high risk.
Rich Snape has managed to find a way past Adam Tyus to take over 2nd spot.
In my racing experience, that move will have given him a massive boost in the battle for the AM class lead.
David Constable Barry pulls a great move on Josh Daw for 4th.
He has the momentum, and I can tell from his lines that he is hunting more spots already.
And he just takes another one by sliding past Adam Tyus to move up to 3rd.
In my racing experience, that 3rd to 2nd move is the hardest one to set up correctly.
He is on fire as he makes it 2 in a row and takes over 2nd place from Jimmy Lindo.
With these Pro-Am drivers battling it out at the front, the championship will look very different by tonight.
Dominic Fovarg finds a way past Jody Fannin to move further into the points.
I've had some great battles with Jody before, and he does not let places go without a fight.
Fovarg continues his charge as he takes 6th away from Rich Snape with a tidy overtake. Rich Snape makes a move on John Boontakis for 5th place.
Bountikis bites back immediately as they swap places again in this AM class scrap.
Snape manages to find another opening and reclaims 5th once more.
This is exactly why I loved racing here, because the drafting allows for these incredible back and forth battles.
Boontakis does not give up and pulls off another overtake to snatch the spot back for the 4th time. Rich Snape makes his move past Bountikis and then manages to overtake Jareth Hallam as well.
Hallam strikes back instantly to reclaim the position as these 3 cars are virtually glued together.
Jimmy Lindo pulls off a clean move to take 4th place from Jareth Hallam.
Hallam is under huge pressure now as Rich Snape also finds a gap to move through.
Hallam manages to regain 5th from Snape as they battle through the high-speed sections.
In my racing days, I always found that having a faster car behind you forces these small defensive errors.
Snape lunges back to take the spot, but Hallam is not letting go and overtakes him once more.
This is an incredible Pro-Am and Am class scrap, and neither driver is prepared to give an inch.
Thomas Kruger Dorado and Sam Zero both slide past John Buntakis in one quick move.
Dorado has the momentum and immediately finds a way past Rich Snape to climb another spot.
Botkin and Nicole are trading 10th place back and forth with 3 overtakes in 3 seconds.
I have been in those dogfights where you are just throwing the car into every gap you see.
Thomas Kruger Dorado has understeered right into the side of Jimmy Lindo.
I have felt that understeer before on this circuit, and it is a nightmare to correct mid-corner.
The race stewards have issued a warning to Dorado for that contact as they both continue.
Lindo will be checking his steering now because even a light tap can throw the alignment out.
Lindo is doing his best to hold the line, but he looks a little vulnerable through the high-speed turns. Dorado finally makes the pass stick for 5th as Lindo is forced wide.
Sam Zero capitalizes on the situation immediately to move into 6th and shuffle Lindo back further.
David Constable Barry takes the checkered flag for a superb win after starting all the way back in 10th.
Making those moves stick while managing the tires is something I always found incredibly difficult in these sprint formats.
A huge result for Garayosti as he secures maximum points in the Pro-Am class. Dominic Fovarg crosses the line in 2nd place, having gained an incredible 11 positions since the start.
In my racing experience, that kind of charge from 13th is the mark of a driver at the top of their game.
He will be thrilled with that podium finish, which will do wonders for his championship standing tonight. Jareth Hallam completes the podium in 3rd, making it a phenomenal day for the Pro-Am field.
Moving from 14th to the podium is an outstanding performance, and I know he will be exhausted after that drive.
3 drivers from the back of the grid have swept the top 3 spots in this reverse grid thriller. Phil Bodkin loses 7th to Rich Snape before crashing hard into the barriers just seconds later.
I know how that feels when the car snaps away from you and Adam Tyus is through to take another position.
What a showing from our podium finishers who all carved their way from the back of the pack to the front.
In my career, I have seen how difficult it is to stay calm in heavy traffic, but Constable Barry was absolutely flawless.
The AM class provided non-stop entertainment as Snape and Bountakis traded paint and positions lap after lap.
Late contact for Lindo and a heavy hit for Bodkin remind us just how quickly this circuit can bite back.
With 7 races remaining, the momentum has shifted toward the Pro-Am stars heading into the final sprint tonight. David Constable Barry jumps into 2nd overall after that dominant win in the reverse grid race.
He has leapfrogged Turbin, and the pressure is on, as I have been in that title hunt, where every point feels like gold.
Dominic Fovarg and Jareth Hallam have skyrocketed from outside the top 10 into 4th and 5th, respectively.
That is the power of a podium finish, and they have transformed their championship outlook in just 20 minutes of racing.
Jody Fannin starts on pole with the championship leader Martine Moll right beside him on the front row.
I have sat in that pole position before, and the view into turn 1 is both exhilarating and terrifying, with a pack like this behind you.
Dominic Fovarg and Jareth Hallam share the 2nd row, both looking to capitalize on their massive championship gains from earlier tonight.
David Constable Barry starts 6th, and he will be desperate to keep his new 2nd place in the standings away from a charging Fovarg.
Rich Snape leads the AM class from 8th on the grid, while Adam Tyus has work to do from 13th.
This final 20-minute sprint is where the physical fatigue starts to set in, and mistakes become much more likely.
The lights are out, and we are racing for the final time tonight as Fannin and Moll drag race toward the first corner.
Fannin gets the edge, but Moll is tight on his gearbox, and I know from experience that the inside line is everything here.
Jareth Hallam makes a brilliant start and dives down the inside of Dominic Fovarg to take 3rd.
He used the slipstream perfectly, and I can tell you that getting into the top 3 early is a huge mental boost.
Thomas Kruger Dorado is also finding a way past Dominic Fovarg as he climbs into 4th place.
Fovarg seems to be struggling for pace in these opening seconds, and I have been in that position, where the car just won't bite.
Rich Snape is leading the AM charge as he overtakes Jimmy Lindo for 7th overall.
Snape is driving with such confidence tonight, and making moves on Pro-Am drivers like that is exactly how you win championships.
Chaos in the midfield as Bountakis, Bodkin, Tyus, and Dawe are all caught up in a massive multi-car tangle.
That is a huge amount of damage, and I have seen how quickly a small tap can turn into a pileup on this narrow stretch.
The yellow flags are waving across the circuit, and the safety car has been deployed to pick up our leader.
This completely resets the gaps at the front and gives the field a moment to breathe after that frantic start.
The safety car is on track now, which brings the field back together and wipes out Jody Fannon's early lead.
I always found this a stressful time as you have to keep the tire temperatures up while staring at the bumper in front.
The safety car lights are off and it will dive into the pits this lap to release the pack.
Fannon will be looking to time the restart perfectly, and I have been in that cat and mouse game many times before.
We are back to green, and Jareth Hallam is immediately on the hunt for second place.
He has timed that restart beautifully, and I can tell you the draft down this main straight is incredibly powerful.
Darren Nickel loses a position to Phil Bodkin as they sort themselves out after the restart.
In my racing experience, it is so easy to get bullied out of a position when everyone is bunched up like this.
John Bontakis is through now as well, moving Nickel further down the order.
He seems to be struggling for grip, and Sam Zero takes full advantage to slide past into 13th.
Nickel has lost 3 places in under 30 seconds and will need to find his rhythm quickly to stop the slide. Jody Fannon has muscled his way back into the lead as he overtakes Martin Moll.
Fannon is carrying 35 kilos of ballast, but you wouldn't know it with the pace he is showing tonight.
Martin Moll strikes back and retakes the lead with a clever move on the inside.
Fannon is not done yet and lunges back to reclaim the top spot as they swap positions once again.
But Moll finds another opening and moves into first place for the 3rd time in less than 15 seconds. David Constable Barry finds a gap and overtakes Jareth Hallam to move into 5th place.
In my racing career, I always found that maintaining a charge after a safety car restart requires incredible focus.
Dominic Fovarg is tumbling down the order as Lindo and Constable Barry both fly past him.
He has completely lost his momentum, and now Hallam, Snape, Lemrich, and Dorado all move through as well.
Jimmy Lindo is on a charge and he takes 2nd place away from the championship leader Martin Moll.
In my racing experience, that move will have given him a massive surge of confidence for the final laps.
But wait, Constable Barry and Jareth Hallam have both found a way back past him in a matter of seconds.
Lindo has hit the barriers hard, and I have been in that situation where the car just washes out on you.
Rich Snape takes full advantage of the incident and moves past the wounded car into 4th place. Lindo and Fovarg have come together again as they battle fiercely for 5th position.
Fovarg manages to get the spot, but they touch once more as Lindo tries to fight back.
That contact has cost Lindo dearly as Phil Bodkin and Joel Lemrich both find a way through.
I have had races where you just seem to be a magnet for trouble, and Jimmy Lindo is living that right now.
Lindo is not giving up though, and he manages to claw back a position from Lemrich.
He is showing real grit to keep fighting after those incidents, and in my experience, that mentality is crucial.
Sam Zero finds a gap to move past Dorado, but Martin Moll is right there to snatch the place back.
In my racing career, I always felt that being on the wrong end of a double overtake is incredibly frustrating.
Jody Fannon crosses the line to take a hard-earned victory after leading the field from pole position.
He managed that safety car restart perfectly, and I can tell you from experience how tough it is to stay focused after a reset.
A 2nd win of the season for Fannon as he solidifies his position as a major title contender. Jareth Hallam takes 2nd place after a very consistent drive to finish another strong race tonight.
He is putting together a fantastic run of results in the Pro-Am class, and his confidence must be sky high right now.
That result moves him even further up the championship table as he rounds out a very successful evening. David Constable Barry finishes in 3rd place to complete a dream night for the Gary Giesti team.
In my racing experience, finding this level of consistency across 3 different races is what defines a champion.
He will be leaving Cascavel with a massive haul of points and a real grip on the top of the standings. Jody Fannon took a brilliant win from pole, but that massive mid-pack pileup was the defining moment of the race.
That safety car period really tested their patience, and I know how hard it is to stay focused during those long laps.
Jareth Hallam and David Constable Barry secured yet more silverware as the Pro-Am drivers dominated the evening.
From my time in the seat, I can tell you that stringing 3 results like this together is the perfect way to hunt the lead.
6 races remain in the season, and the battle for the championship has never been tighter. What a transformative night of racing here at Cascavel as the championship table looks completely different than it did 3 hours ago.
David Constable Barry has been the star of the show, climbing from 9th all the way to 2nd in the standings after some clinical driving.
Dominic Fovarg and Jody Fannon have also rocketed into the top 5, while Jareth Hallam moved from 15th up to 6th overall.
I have seen momentum shift like this before, and it completely changes the psychological dynamic for the leaders heading into the final 6 races.
The Pro-Am class has truly dominated the podiums tonight, and they are now posing a genuine threat to Martin Moll at the summit.
From my time in the cockpit, I know they will be exhausted after 3 intense sprints. But the points haul makes every second of effort worth it.